Hey everyone, welcome to Herbzig Wolf Farms in Randolph, Manitoba. Today we're going to talk our weather station and everything weather station related on our farm. Let's go take a look. This is our weather station that we use on our farm. So it tells us what the weather is that day, and it tells us what the weather might be in the coming future. So it has a little fin at the top that can tell us the wind direction. It tells us the wind speed it calculates how fast this thing will spin, and it can tell us all other kinds of things like how much rain as it collects in this big cup, and it will measure it. And all of these things are sent to my phone where I can look on an app and it will tell me exactly all of this data, and we can talk about it on the farm and make decisions about what we want to plant and when we want to harvest it. You might notice this big panel here. This is a solar panel that allows this to actually run all summer long and send the information to our phones. We get notifications on our phone daily on what the wind and all of the rain is accumulating to. We look at it every day and we make decisions on the farm every day based on what the weather is going to do in the future. We have to decide when to spray, when to maybe add some more fertilizer to help the crops grow, and it can also tell us at what point the crops might dry down and it's almost time to harvest. So when there's not too much wind during the day, and this tells us it's not windy, then we know it's a good time to maybe spray our fields and make sure we can keep the weeds away so our crops can grow nice and big. On the farm, we have to work when the weather's good. So sometimes that means if the weather station predicts it's going to be really nice on the weekend, but there's some rain coming Monday or Tuesday, we'll make sure to get all our work done on the weekend and then spend time with our families at Tinkertown on Monday and Tuesday. Some of the measurements we're looking for when looking on our phones on what this is telling us is if there's a warm front coming through, which might bring rain, or if there's a cold front, which might bring some frost. In spring, when we're seeding, we need to make sure we don't seed too early if we know there's some frost coming, because when the crop comes out of the ground and it's just little, the frost can make it die. So we need to make sure we time our seeding to match the weather. During harvest, we also have to match our speed of harvest to the amount of rain that's coming. A couple of years ago, it rained a lot right in the middle of harvest, and we had to make a decision if we were going to try and harvest through the mud or wait for it to freeze over. Every crop we grow, whether it's wheat or canola or sunflowers, they all have to grow to their maturity and then we can harvest them. Every crop needs to dry down before it's ready to harvest. If it's too wet and we try to put it in one of our big grain bins, it can rot and spoil. It's like if you forget to eat your sandwich out of your lunch kit and you find it 3 days later, it might not be very good. That's what happens in our grain bin. When the grain's a little bit too wet, it will spoil. This weather station is very important to us, not only for our crops, but also for our animals. In our pig barns, when we know there's a heat wave coming, we need to make sure we have all our fans set up so that they can keep the pigs cool and that they're nice and comfortable. Now we're going to go take a look at our soil probe in the middle of the wheat field. This is our soil probe. We have 3 of them on our farm, and they measure how much water is in the soil. They measure it at 10 centimeters, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and even all the way down to 80 centimeters. If we know how much water is left deep in our soil, it can help us make decisions on the farm. It tells us if the crops are still going to have nutrients to grow bigger and stronger as they mature throughout the growing season. We have 3 of these on our farm, one in this wheat field, we have another one in a corn field, and another one is in a sunflower field. The reason we have 3 of these is because we have different soil types all over the province of Manitoba. So this field has very heavy soil, kind of looks like clay. It's a little bit gray when you start digging. That soil holds lots of water in it, so this field actually is pretty good. In another field where the soil is a little bit sandier, we need rain more consistently to help the crops grow. The water goes through the soil really fast and can disappear. If there's lots of water left in the soil, we can add fertilizer to really make the crops grow big. This year, we're really dry and don't have a lot of water left in the soil, so we didn't add extra fertilizer to help the crops grow because we knew it wouldn't get used. If we could have the perfect growing season, it'd be a little different for every farm. For us, it means we don't want frost when we're seeding. We want the crops to have a great start and a nice gentle rain to really soak up that water and have a good strong start. And throughout the year, we want nice, timely rains to help the crops grow big and strong, and also to let me have some family time.